Welcome to Life Skills TTP. Today we got 7 life skills everyone should learn. Upgrading and operating the system of you. Also, shout out to the new subscribers. If you're coming aboard, I am an artist and I do a lot of stuff. And some of it you're gonna go, well, and that's the cost of creativity. I actually want to talk about that first. The cost of creativity doesn't mean that, it costs a lot of money to make this stuff. What it means on this particular platform is the cost of creativity is really that. It's going to take longer to do what I have to do unless I do the same thing, be repetitive. I'm going to do a video of there's a couple of channels that blew up, psychology channels, and that people run to, and there's not a human being there, but they'll talk about put thumbs down about AI on my stuff, but you actually subscribe to AI channel, there's not a human being there. Also, they don't have a degree in psychology. I do. And for some reason, it might be the learning style or whatever, but they do the same thing over and over. They get about 40 videos. The channel done blew up. They're monetized. They do all of that. And then it completely, because there's no creativity. And so the cost of creativity is not about money. I like to say that straight off. So let's get into this. The ultimate asset is you. The ultimate project, or the ultimate asset, and the ultimate life skill is mastering you. This is huge, huge, huge. I will use myself as an example today. I'm really irritated about a situation, and I know it's intentional. Okay. And then you have to weigh, okay, what are you going to do? I'm in the middle of nowhere, and apparently they like sound systems from the 1990s, apparently. And so when it says mastering you, that's what I got to do. I have to weigh the situation. I have to say, is it even, I have to talk it out with her. I'm like, is it really something? And then you say, okay, at the end of this, is it going to benefit us? Or is it going to harm us? Or is it going to bring attention to us? And so I wanted to do this. This kind of fell right in line I was going to do today. And this stuff happened. Brilliant. Let's go. So the system dashboard. And I do this a lot. I'm gonna go from right to left. Some people go left to right. I'm going to go right to left. And the number one thing is time. And if you looked on this channel, I have many, many videos that I've done earlier. I think I'm going to do a new one on time. But I have at least 3 or 4 on time. Is very important. Finance, I don't talk about. I do, but not in that sense, because I'm not an expert. And also, I have so much more to learn about finances. And so 3 is EQ. Number 4 is boundaries. Number 5 is learning. Number 6 is energy. And number 7 is communication. 7 interdependent systems, 1 unified you. And so this is the 7 skills: time, finance, EQ, boundaries, learning, energy, and communication. And so skill 1 is time. And so if we're talking about time, like today, I did a lot of yard work today. It was looking out there by the business. It was looking kind of raggedy. The green stuff done burnt off, because it only takes like 4 or 5 days of about 90-degree weather, and then that stuff will burn up. I kept it down this year. The last couple of years, I had to cut. I figured it out on year 3, and it was a lot more better this time. So and this time thing, I'm going to get into it as far as doing this channel, handling other business, handling my other things. I got some drop shipping stuff. And trying to manage all that at time. And also get that other thing going over there that I have open. And so to do that, I'm going to need to be focused. And after I'm focused, I'm going to build the creation. I'm going to maintain the admin life, and then I'm going to recover and rest. And so the recover and rest part is very, very, very important. Because if you do what I do, which means you never stop, that's not even like a thing. How much time you sleep? About 3 hours a day. I will say that. And I get the sleep whenever I need it. I'm not with, I gotta do this by this time, because you, I don't know. I'm gonna speak for myself. I can't do all the stuff that I do, put everything in place and do all of that like that. Me. So it's important that I maintain. And so this is skill 1. Skill 2 is financial literacy. And the reason I put this second is because this is what could actually send you into a whole nother direction. And you having to deal with a certain type of people. And then eventually you're like, oh, I'm kind of cool with this. And they're all using you though, but you're kind of cool with it. And you don't really want to get out of there because you're like some kind of famous and whatever person who they're like, no, that's so-and-so. And that hype and that high. So for me, the financial literacy is second, and I'm no expert, so I'm not going to sit up here and tell you, hey, you need to do this, this, and that. I broke this down according to myself. So I need to earn, and I need to save, and I need to invest, and I need it to grow. And that's my mindset now. Wasn't about 10 years ago. I ain't even going to lie. About 10, at least 10 years ago. I've been on this stuff for about 10 years as far as having better financial literacy and understanding what to do with your money and how to make it work. The emotional intelligence, skill 3. And emotional intelligence, I'm just going to speak for me. And we're going to do the reacting and responding today. So all day long, we have somebody who is playing, I guess, Boys in the Hood really, really loud. It's been all day. So how did I react to that? Well, I didn't. I kind of observed it from a distance. I said, hey, it looks like they might be having fun. I said, what is it? It's Thursday or something? What time is it? Oh, they're still doing it? And then I think, well, they don't have a job. And so that's my second thing. I go, oh, well, they don't have a job. They're happy, apparently, because they're playing music. I'm going to assume that it's drugs. I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that is going to play a big factor in, I believe, before this is all over. It is going to play a factor in it. So the reacting part is finding a solution to it. And then how am I going to respond? Well, I'm not. Not bums. Not people who intentionally try to make other people mess their life up. So no, not even close. I won't even entertain those individuals. And so you insert a pause between stimulus and response. So you insert. So what did I do? I ignored them. Moving on. Skill 4, boundary setting. Now, I have the boundary setting club. I actually got that playing right now. I think it's Survivor and The Amazing Race. They chose Amazing Race. It's a good choice. I like Survivor too. But that's what they chose. But boundary setting, up at the top, number 1, you're going to protect core values and focus. Excuse me. And then 2, filter, negotiable demands. And then 3 is block, energy, vampires, and noise. Block, energy, vampires, and noise. Now, isn't that interesting? I just finished talking. You can't make this stuff up, man. I just finished talking about it. I just finished. Listen. the sphere of influence. And so, boundary setting. But that's why I tell you, energy vampires and noise. You can't put this into context like that. Like what I just told you in this time, the same thing. You can't even do it. Moving on. 5 will be continuous learning. Now you know I did insight. Insight led into you always have more to learn. So if we go from the top, you're going to reflect, apply, listen, and read. Now, why would I do that? Because you can. But it's really read, listen, apply, and reflect. And this is important to actually read. Now, you can listen to audiobooks and all of that stuff. That's cool. But you should still read. You should still write. I did an episode where I showed you that. All the papers, all the things that I write, all the stuff that I put together, all the things that I write down, all the scripts, all the characters, all of those things. That's what keeps me interested in doing this stuff is I have about 10 characters. So I read them, right, to say, okay, and then I don't listen. I listen to them sometime, but I apply, reflect. But I try to give them a decent script. Anyway, so number 5, we're at number 5 of 7 of these life skills. Number 6, energy management. Now, energy management is very, people will pay for energy. Do you know that there's a whole system set up to try to steal energy? Did you know that? No, you probably didn't know that. But if you come to Life Skills TTP, you're going to stay ahead. You're going to stay in real time. And we're going to talk about energy stealing. We can go back to that other slide, which was the vampires and noise. Yeah. So at the top, at 20%, we have mental, draining, overthinking, charge, deep rest. This, I'm going to use myself for an example. When I was working in the pandemic, and this was in California. I had my townhouse at the time. I was going to work. Now for some reason they were doing construction all the time. I don't know why, but they were doing construction all the time. And they would just park in front of my car and probably block me in. I'd be going to work. Now you got to realize I'm going to work actually, but they would act like I had all day. At some point, making me late. Okay, and come to find out, it was. Now that I think about it, they didn't speak English. It was the migrants. Now that I think about it, so here I'm being harassed every morning before I go to work. I have to deal with this mentally before I even get to work. I'm drained, overthinking. I'm already overthinking and drained. I haven't even clocked in yet, and I've been zapped. And so this is very important to me. Skill 6 is energy management. And the mental is definitely first. Now, the physical, for me, has to do with diet sometimes. So, the physical, I could have worked hard all day or whatever like that, push myself. If not, I used to have like almost 300 stops at one time. And so I used to really push myself physically. And it took a toll on me, especially driving. And if people don't know, you have to do yourself a certain way. If you drive trucks, if you drive, or else you will have poor circulation. I'm just letting you know. Most truck people, they won't tell you about it. I don't think a lot of them know that it is from that. It's kind of weird. But the last one is emotional. And so emotional is your drain, conflict, charge. I can go back to when they were parked in front of me. Not only was it mentally, but it was draining the conflict, and then the whole emotional thing going through it. Like, why are you even messing with me? Jack me up. So this is skill 6, energy management, and 100% emotional. Just don't react. Process and weigh out the options. You know what I do? I take the worst thing that could happen, and I work my way back. And once I do that, I realize that I'm not going to do half of that stuff to get there, because if I get there, that's it. You know, there's consequences for that. So I go to the extreme, like, and why you thinking they going to have that? And I work my way back. Let's go to number 7. So skill 7 is effective communication. You know, I know social interaction, social communication, been in front of thousands of people is my main thing. 7 seconds, I can hit you. I understand you. Maybe. But number 1 in effective communication is you have to listen. You have to be a good listener, active listening. You can't assume that you know, or if somebody says something that triggers you and you respond before they even finish, or contradict them, or say, here's another slick thing about people saying, oh, let's have a debate. No. There's truth. And then we both can be on common ground and we both can tell our truths. And then people can determine whatever it is. And for me, in effective communication, and I'm talking about me, listen, I have active listening. I listen first. And then after you listen, you're going to process. Right? You're going to process. And after you listen, you're going to process. And then after you process, you're going to verify. And after you verify means confirm the receipt, you're going to articulate. And so if you listen, then you process, and then you verify, now you can make a correct statement. Now you can articulate the things that you need to say and effectively communicate that to another individual. 7, effective communication. And so we got system diagnostics, and we'll move past that. And then you're going to assess your dashboard, which you're going to put it up: time, finance, EQ, boundaries, learning, energy, communication. Look, the mental map, current proficiency across the 7 axes, and optimized system requires a balanced wheel, not just one over-indexed skill. A balanced wheel. And so you got this, the synthesis flywheel. I did have a thing with S's, and then at one time I thought I was dyslexic. See, S's, dyslexic. I have a thing with that. I believe. Sometimes I get it right, and most of the time I get it wrong. So the synthesis flywheel. So time unlocks learning. Learning drives finance. Energy fuels time. You don't have to be perfect. All 7 at once. Upgrading one part of the system accelerates the whole wheel. So you don't have to do all 7 at once. You can do one of them. One of them leads to another one. And then the other leads to the other. And then you just keep connecting it together, because it's all about you. It's not about me having a blueprint, a master class, something that is deceiving and not truthful and what it is. A lot of this stuff is about learning style. That's why I keep saying that. A lot of this stuff, if you're not, I've been dealing with academics and this stuff. I even worked at a school for about 12 or 13 years. So I do this stuff every day. I've run classes for NAMI. I speak in my own voice. There's many things that I do. And so I just wanted to tell you that you don't have to be perfect. It's not, and then there's not really a blueprint. And then now if you look at society and how stuff is, and stuff is changing, it's kind of going back to how it was. You know, where you can go out there and have some fun. You can meet some people. You can eat some good food. Don't matter who it is. You ain't worried about, what, all of that drama. I call it organizational drama and all of that stuff, because it don't make any sense. I just keep it right in the center, and I stay in real time. And that's the last slide. Life Skills TTP. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Also, these slides are research based. They are information and stuff that I look up that I put in. It's Notebook LM. It's AI. And so people, when it shows that marker up there, that doesn't mean nothing because I've put it in the work, the research, and the stuff to do this. It just makes the slides and everything. It cuts out a lot of time for me if I had to do it because I used to do it before. It's nothing. So Life Skills TTP, I appreciate you guys. Enjoy your day.